Mo in the comments.
I decided.
Yeah, Mo's in there. Sorry, we are live, everybody. Hello, welcome to the live show Sunday. You don't need Boris, you just need me, Saeed, and today.
Stay alert, mate. Stay alert.
Zayn, stay alert. Hashtag stay alert. Boris is on the case tonight, so I want you a lot to comment in the comment section. Keep me posted as to what Boris is letting us all know and the state of affairs in terms of us actually edging towards some form of reality, which is still miles off. I don't know. We live in hope, don't we? We live in hope. With me tonight, I've got first time on the show. He's been on my Instagram a couple of times on live, but Zayn, first time on YouTube, mate. How you doing, buddy? You okay, pal?
I'm doing good, bro. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I can barely hear you there, actually, Zayn. You need to turn your volume up a little bit, mate, if you can. Get it? Someone's got a noisy door in the background.
Yeah, mate, noisy door, mate. I'll have to keep that on hold, mate.
That's the introduction for Saeed, anyway, mate.
Tell you what, mate. How's it going, anyway, man?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. So FIFA's going well for you, mate. On last night of expressions, you've been playing Zayn as well below there. Alfie wants you, man. Mate. He's earmarked you, mate. He wants to take you down.
Yo, I'm telling you, mate. Zayn is one of them, man. He gave me a good game. I don't remember what happened in total. You know what I mean? But Zayn, he gave me a good game. That's all I remember. And I don't know about his mate, though. He keeps telling about his mate, Leicester. I don't know what happened down there, but yeah, Leicester, the game against Expressions, you know what? I've got to give it to him, you know what I mean? He held me the first game, but the second game I come back, and that was the one, mate. That was the one. It's all about comebacks. It's not how you start, is it?
No, that's it, mate. It's how you finish, not how you start. And that's what United are hoping for anyway. But quick shout out before we get into the subjects tonight to Owen. He was going to be on with me tonight, but he's not feeling too good at the moment. He's in a lot of pain. I spoke to him not too long ago. He's had to call the old 111 line. He's got I don't think it's anything COVID related, but he's not in a good state at the moment. So shout out to Owen. Hopefully you get back on your feet soon, mate, and get you back on next week, hopefully, pal. So that's that other way anyway. Hopefully everyone is okay. And you guys again in the comments, hopefully everyone in your households are all doing okay and seeing it through. And don't forget, keep me posted on what happens with hashtag stay alert and Boris. We're not talking about that on this channel. We're going to get into the important stuff, which is United.
How's the bed going along?
Yeah, you can tell, mate, now. You can tell. I've got, if you can see.
Yeah, I can
great
see
at the front, showing my age. I'm showing my age now.
Finally, you don't look like you're 25 anymore.
I know, that's it, mate. I'm never looking like a Viking by the time the season starts, because I said I won't cut it off until the season kicks off again. I'm like, oh, God, I'm regretting that now.
Wow.
But anyway, let's get into the subject. So I'm going to touch on to some transfer news. I know Zayn likes talking transfers as well, so we got him on tonight. So a few things. I've got three subjects in particular in terms of transfers, but I'm not too impressed with either of them. For me, firstly, I'll go to you first, Saeed. Obviously, it's broke, so there's a few coming out today. Joe Rodon, whichever way you want to say his name, that shows you how much of a player this guy is. I've not heard of him. He's another championship player from Swansea, another centre-back. I tweeted it out earlier on today, Saeed, mate. I mean, another 22-year-old. I'm sure we've got one of these in Axel Tuanzebe already in our squad. Why do we need another championship player, mate? Why? That's not a good sign for me, mate, because you know what? Some people have said it's okay because that probably means we're looking to get rid of the likes of Jones and Rojo. Yeah, that's all right, but I don't want him to take the place of Tuanzebe or get in front of Tuanzebe because he's paid his due. He performed better than this guy did in the championship last season, and you know what? He's only going to come in and scupper a chance of Axel getting the game time I think he deserves, mate. I mean, do you know anything about this guy, mate, or is it like me? We're just surprised by it all.
You know what? No idea, mate. I think Aaron tweeted it out yesterday. Shout out to Aaron, but he tweeted it out and said Joe Rogan, and I was like, "Is that not the podcast guy, Joe Rogan?" You know what I mean? Like, I thought, is that not the guy that does the UFC podcast? You know what I mean? I was just like, "Who is this?" But again, it just shows again, man. You know what I mean? I just did a podcast now in Northern. I was talking about structure. We're talking about how like football clubs plan for everything, and they kind of, you know, they almost know what they're buying. Man United don't know what they're buying, mate. They absolutely don't know. They're throwing money at the pot again, and Edwards is throwing money at where he doesn't know. And again, we'll become like recommendation FC. Normally you get recommendations on YouTube. We're getting recommendations on football clubs. And Ryan Giggs, yeah, is kind of recommending us Daniel James. But don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's done well so far for what he is right now. Daniel James is not the finished article. Don't get me wrong, but Joe Rodon is not something United should be looking forward to. We should be looking at a top class. If you're going to get Joe Rodon, we might as well get Koulibaly, mate, because you're getting a Joe Rodon who's not. It's not almost like the finished article. It's probably one of them where he'll be good in about 3-4 years' time. If you're going to get that, you might as well get Koulibaly, who's 29, who's already ready, and then buying him for 80 million. Then you might as well do that, because at the end of the day, Man United don't know what they're buying. Who the hell is Joe Rogan? He could be good, yeah, and don't get me wrong, but you've got Lindelof, who's not could be good, and is not good, not so far, and it's not shown that he could be the mainstay of Man United centre back. You've got Harry Maguire, who's on 80 million. His cost is 80 million, and people are still doubting him. You've got Eric Bailly, who's injury prone. You got Smalling that Ricky wants him back, and I'm like, nah, he's gone for a reason. Phil Jones is not good enough. And then you've got Twanzebe, who is 21 I think it's 21 right now, who could be good, but yet we're not saying him. We're saying, let's get the 22-year-old Joe Rogan in. It just, for me, don't work like that, man. You might as well get Twanzebe in, send him out on loan, and then let him be on the first team. Why get Joe Rogan? Seriously, why? Who on earth is Joe Rogan for Man United to be splashing out 22 million out for him when United need to get a proper centre-back? If you're not going to get a centre-back here, then you might as well stick with Eric Bailly and Lindelof, or at least go get Koulibaly then for 80 million. It don't make sense to me. And that just shows how Man United's contract situation is going on and how the transfer window is going on. Is that everything's muddled up. We don't have a sporting director. We don't have a football manager who knows what he wants. He's almost saying, "What do you think, guys? You know what I mean? What do you think I should get?" Bruno Fernandes. I don't even know if on the social media. What if Bruno Fernandes? I don't know. You know, I really don't know. Like, you know, didn't even want I think he wanted Wan-Bissaka or Harry Maguire. I get that, because there was two positions that needed to be sorted. But Bruno Fernandes, did he really want him? Daniel James wasn't his signing. Ighalo was almost a kind of a last minute. So it just sort of shows like the structure of this football club. It's an absolute joke, to be honest with you.
That's it. That's Saeed, straight to the point there. I mean, Zayn, Saeed's already stuck by, and he's always stuck by what he said about Ollie and the structure about United. I mean, where do you stand on players like this? I mean, we can pick out Joe Rodon in particular, or we can just go and say Sean Longstaff, like Charles mentioned in the comments there. These style of players, you know what I mean? We don't know nothing about them, and to be honest, it's either showing us that the club are going to give Ollie time to try and develop these players, but then you've got fans like Saeed saying there, we're not convinced about what he's done with the world-class players. Has he got the capabilities to make these unknown players into world-class? Is that United standard, mate? That's basically what we're talking about here. Do you know anything about Joe Rodon? Do you watch any Championship football? Are you impressed with this sort of rumour and signing? Zayn, what do you reckon, mate?
He's a fan. I haven't heard of it. I'll go back to you see a club he wanted like the Liverpool went linked with these kind of defenders. As soon as Klopp came, he was ruthless. He wanted this player, he wanted that player, and he got it. And you see when Klopp came, Liverpool went linked with these champions. Linked with high. Like Saeed, I'll go for Koulibaly. He's got European experience. I don't want none of these Championship players. Like Saeed said, they might be good in the future, but we're talking at the moment. At the moment, we don't. They're Championship proven. At the end of the day, they're not like European proven. So I don't want to hear that. We're gonna go for it. It's gonna be Koulibaly or another European hot top defender, like or something like that. No one of these.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I also hear someone being murdered in the background of someone's house. Screaming in the background there. Don't know who that is. I hope you're okay, though, whoever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, right, so No one seems to be. I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys on this one. I don't see this being what I'm hoping for in terms of United.
That's why I didn't want you to get involved whatsoever.
So what? Am I getting feedback from Zane? Hang on a second.
They've got somewhere to come back now. You know what I'm saying? If anything does, you know what I'm saying, bro? Listen, I'm not seeing any threat like.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Said, mate. I'm struggling with Zane at the moment.
No. I'm just saying to you, no.
I don't know.
Of course, bro. Of course, you're gonna do that, bro. But
yeah, I'm having. Zane's killing my feed, man. Zane, are you back with us, mate?
Yeah. I understand you fully, my brother. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I got that.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Said, mate. Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, Zane, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think what you do then, forget about before it gets anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm getting feedback from you, Zane. We're having a laugh. Sounds like someone's talking in the background. Everyone's saying we're having a three-way conversation. Right, let's see if we can kick
Bloody
this.
hell.
Right.
It's all United in a minute. That's how United bad out in a minute, mate.
Yeah, so it sounds like we're back on track anyway. It's always happened with live streams anyway. It's what it is. It's live. So, yeah, transfers. No one's really. I'm with you guys on this one. I'm not particularly impressed with Championship players. I mean, I could see the potential in Daniel James because he tore a few teams absolutely apart. And you know what? For the price he was, yeah, I'm all for that. But I'm looking at the defensive position like you guys there. I think we've got players who probably come in ahead of him already. Even if we got rid of 3 centre-backs, he's still behind another 4. It's it's crazy. So, I know what I mean. We've got some good kids coming through our system as well. So, it's not one for me. But moving on in terms of other transfer news, I heard this in the week and I was just like gobsmacked. Say, I'm pretty certain you're going to be on my wavelength with this one, mate. But United haven't supposedly, this is supposedly, there are rumours obviously, haven't been impressed with David De Gea's performances this season. So are actively out in the market for a goalkeeper. Now, I don't even have to explain where I'm going to come from with this one. Said, you're going to take this away from me and probably answer this exactly how I would. I'm not having any of that, mate, at all. I think it was Duncan Castles who came out with that one, but I can't see that at all, mate. I know what we've got at Sheffield United. I know what we've got in reserve behind De Gea already at the club. Actively looking for a goalkeeper. So there's a centre-back and a goalkeeper we could save money on and invest and make sure we get the likes of Sancho, who is a player we need. De Gea rumours, mate. I mean, I've not been his biggest fan this season. He hasn't been great, but you know what? We've got him. We've got Romero. Then we've got what's the name down at Sheffield United as well. So I don't see it, mate. I can't see where these rumours are coming from. I mean, there's no other goalkeeper out there. I mean, is there anyone else you'd rather be in there right now, Saeed?
Not really, to be honest with you. I think that's, again, you know what I mean, why on earth we're looking at a goalkeeper, you know what I mean? If you're not happy with Harry Maguire, David De Gea's performances, then you should be not happy with the whole team. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's a reason why we're leaking in goals. There's a reason why the defence is not up to scratch. There's a reason why we're not keeping clean sheets. Yes, you can blame De Gea and it's not been his best for the past couple of seasons, but you know what I mean? You got Dean Henderson down the road, down the M1. You know what I mean? Go get him. You know what I mean? What on earth are we doing? You know what I mean? Romero could be a decent backup, but just all wrong what's going on in football club. Like centre-back and goalkeeper would be the last 2 positions Man United would need right now. Like, I mean, right now, urgently. That would be the last 2 positions you would need. You would probably need a kind of a right winger, you call it, and maybe a centre midfielder that could be sitting midfielder, and maybe a striker. So them 3 positions would be the keys for Man United to be progressing forward. And again, yeah, I don't know, man. It just goes to show, like, again, it's a blame game again. You know what I mean? I believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is happy with David De Gea. He's got a world-class goalkeeper who, right now, he'd be loving life. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would love anything right now because at the end of the day, he's not a top manager, is he? So at the end of the day, whatever he's got right now is what he's happy with. Obviously, he can improve in certain positions and whatnot, but at the end of the day, David De Gea is a position where, yes, it's been awful, but is it a priority right now? That's the key thing for me. It's not a priority in terms of, yes, defense wins your league titles and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we need to be winning games. We also need to be scoring goals. When was the last time we scored 4 or 5 against, not against bloody Tranmere Rovers? It's got to be against top quality teams, 4-5-0. Yeah, we need to be scoring goals for. That's what Liverpool do. Liverpool concede goals sometimes, and they were doing so in Brendan Rodgers' era, but they were also scoring goals for fun. The Man City again, they might concede 2. I remember Manuel Pellegrini's era, they were conceding 3 or 4, but they were also scoring 7 or 8. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show that you have to score more than the opponent, and then that will breed confidence. And then you don't have to think about the keeper when he concedes a goal in the last 3 moments of the game. So for me, give Henderson the number 1 position if you don't believe in the game, but don't say you're going to go buy another goalkeeper when you've already got people out there already.
Yeah. I mean, Zane, you agreeing with Said there, mate? Have you been? I mean, you don't have to necessarily be impressed with David De Gea this season, but do we need to be going out looking for goalkeepers? I mean, I'm with Zaid on the fact that it's not our priority at the moment. It really isn't. I mean, where do you stand on it? Do you feel like we need to go look for another goalkeeper, considering what we've already got?
Not really. I think that what's priority at the moment is a right winger and another central attacking midfielder. That could be a Grealish or a Sancho. That's priority. But at the end of the day, De Gea might have made these mistakes this season, but you got to look back at a few years. He saved us so many times. Like he's done so much for the club. He saved us. We can't just be disrespecting the guy and kick him out the door without showing any respect. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for De Gea, it would be in the relegation zone 4 or 5 years ago. If it wasn't for him.
I mean, to get Player of the Year 4 years in a row, I don't know any club that's got a player that's done that, let alone a goalkeeper. So Dean Henderson, Romero, De Gea.
Dean Henderson he will be ready in about 2 years. 2 years, 2 years he'll be ready. He'll be in the United's number 1. But at the moment, we got De Gea. He's doing all right. He's doing his thing, man. But our priority at the moment is a right wing and a cam. At the moment, I think it's a right wing and a cam.
Yeah,
another central attacking midfielder.
Yeah, well, that's it. That takes me on to the next bit of news, actually, in terms of you talking about forward lines, what we actually need. It's rumoured today that Ighalo's expected back by Shanghai.
Crazy.
Down to United.
It's all going well, isn't it?
It's down to United to actually spend some money if we actually want to keep him. So, I mean, for me, I'd keep Ighalo. I'd do our best to try and extend that deal because, you know what, that extra option in attack, I understand where people are coming from and saying we should be looking for better, younger people who are going to be for the future. We've already got that in abundance in our forward line. You sign a Sancho, you've got a Sancho, you've got a Greenwood, a Martial, a Rashford. We have got a very young forward line already. A bit of experience would not go amiss in that front line for me. I think United, I mean, I understand if you're going to go and spend 20 million on a Rodon, then for me, 20 million for Ighalo, I know where my 20 million's going, boys. I mean, Zane, I'll come to you first on this one. Then we'll get on to Alien's comment there. I mean, Ighalo, for me, I would definitely keep him at the moment. I just feel like he just gives us that little bit of something that maybe a Rashford or a Martial don't always have. And I'm not putting them players down. It's just that Ighalo is, for me, a bit more of a hold-up player, a proper sort of number 10 style hold-up player, can shoot, score, head. And you know what? He's still got a bit of pace about him. For me, I'm keeping Ighalo. I think he's a definite, and he will help us. Zane, where you at with Ighalo, mate? You've been impressed with him, first of all. Would you keep him? Try and get him to maybe a 1 or 2 year extension?
When he first came in January, I didn't expect a lot from him. I like Ighalo. Personally, I didn't want Ighalo as a striker. I was like, Ighalo, I don't want him. But then when he's banging. Whenever he started the game, he's in the Europa League and the FA Cup against Derby. He's come and he's scored. He's put performances in. But if you're asking me now, right now, I'm keeping him. Because at the end, if we need a backup striker, if Martial gets injured, we can bring Ighalo up. But like if 70th or 80th minute, we're bringing Ighalo up. He's holding the ball up. I've been impressed with his hold-up play so far since we bought him in January. He's holding the ball up. And then he's laying it to Martial or Rashford. He's doing good. I'm personally keeping him. I'm extending his loan. If Woodward doesn't extend his loan, this guy needs to get out the football club, man. I'm hearing
talks on
about
Shanghai will only accept money now. I mean, surely they've got to let us see out what happens with the season first. I think that's got to be contractual, surely. But, I mean, Alien 10 over the super chat there says, RVG, Rashi, Sancho, Bruno behind, enough said. Is it as easy as that? I don't know. Ighalo for you, Saeed, mate. Sorry, Zane. I'll come back to you in a second. I'll let Saeed see what he... Are you with... I don't think I've actually spoke to you about Ighalo that much, Saeed. I mean, I've been impressed. We were both there at Derby, mate. Took goals very, very well. And you know what? That goal in the last game that we actually seen over in... oh, God, where was it now? I forgot where we played in Europa League. No, it's been that long.
Was it Lask?
Lask. God, I mean, Top Bins seems to play well with Bruno as well, mate. I mean, impressed with Bruno, impressed with Ighalo, definite keep.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you said impressive Bruno, bloody hell, man, I'm more than impressive Bruno. But
that's a play we don't even have to discuss.
Exactly. In terms of Ighalo, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie to you. I tweeted out and I said, what are we buying Ighalo for? You know what I mean? It was a player where we didn't really need, and it was a player that it's almost a case of, you know what I mean? Ighalo, free transfer. Did we want him? You know what I mean? But then again, I was just like to myself, let's see what he can do. And it's almost improved what I've wanted. You know what I mean? He scored goals. It's helped at the play. He's not said to himself, you know what? I expect this, and I want to bring this. He has a big, massive expectation. But I don't mind Ighalo as a backup striker, as a backup person in the squad, something that can come off the bench and score a last-minute header. I mean, I'm happy with that. But as long as it don't derail us from signing a striker, that's what I want. I don't want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to think, yeah, I've got Ighalo, but then I don't need a striker. Listen, mate, go buy a striker. You don't just rely on Ighalo, who's, would I say he's ending his career, but he's happy where he is right now. He's got his boyhood club. You know what I mean? He's come back from Shanghai. He's not someone you need to rely on. And it's not someone that's going to score you 30 goals a season. I think that's long gone. I think when he was at Watford, he was in his prime. I think he's done towards the end of his career now. So, but I'm happy with Ighalo. Don't get me wrong. What he's brought in, he's brought a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? It's been very, very energy. You know what I mean? I love this passionate. I love the way he loves the club. I love the way he's in awe of the club. I just don't want United to be saying, you know what, Ighalo, yeah, we're happy now. I want us to still buy a striker. And with that means Harry Kane, Werner, and Jimenez. I don't care who it is, mate. As long as we buy a top quality striker. But Ighalo's been, for me, it's been a breath of fresh air, but like I said to you.
Definitely. Was you going to say something just before then, Zane, mate?
I was about to say about Woodward. If he pulls out the Sancho deal, the fan base is going to be on him. Because it's pressure for him now. Because you see what happened to the Bruno Fernandes thing. And the fans that went to his house and threw fillets and those flames and stuff at him, he's going to have pressure to do that Sancho deal now. But I'm hearing about the coronavirus pandemic that United might not have the money anymore. But I think we will. I think United's the only club that will have that money.
I mean,
because I heard Gary Neville
has just told us there. First update from Boris on the night there. 3 more weeks, guys. So we're into June. We're into June.
So how's it probably going to be ready then? That surely, what's it called? Boris Johnson has basically confirmed that there's no Premier League season then, is there?
Yeah, well, going off what he just said there, lockdown for the summer. So for the summer, if we're locked down for the summer, then how the hell are we getting football again? I don't understand that.
And you see that the 3 Brighton players that got tested positive today.
Yeah, that's another. That's what I was going to touch on as well. Actually, we might as well get into that now in terms of the lockdown because that's
one of year 6 go to school. Bloody hell, mate. We're going to be busy at work, aren't we?
Yes.
Don't want to hear that, mate.
July for restaurants, 1 year. Yes, year 1 and year 6 to school. What?
Exactly, mate. Well, I don't. You know what I mean? I'm telling you now.
Sending my kids to school. Exactly. I'm not sending mine.
Exactly. Homeschooling, mate.
I don't know what's going on there. All right, it's all getting a bit chaotic in here now. Let's just get into Jibs.
We don't want to be politics here. No politics here.
Let's go. Oh, it's scaring me now. Yeah, Jibs. Cheers for the super chat, buddy. What do you make to Bruno being in Team of the Year 5 games only? I heard Mark talking about this the other day, man. Wow. That is, who picks these teams of the year? I mean, I seen Flex post out match of the day, player of the year, Henderson. And that's not Dean Henderson either. That's that T-Rex running Jordy Scouse lad in the middle of Liverpool's midfield. So, I mean, I don't know who does these polls. It's like the player of the season being announced 2 months before the season finishes. It's crazy. I don't understand why they do it at all. But for me, Bruno, if you bought him in the summer, you'd have no argument. But after 5 games, team of the year? I don't know. I mean, we love him to bits, but
we'll take that. We'll take that as United fans.
Any United fan would jump on it. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you boys on that one. But yeah, getting into the actual state of affairs in terms of when we're going to see football again. Zayn, you just touched on it there. I was going to mention this actually. It seems to me like all the teams at the bottom are sort of pushing this void. I mean, we've heard rumours from Watford. We've heard Brighton, who are not happy to do mutual stadiums. That's because I think Brighton have got United, City and Liverpool all to play at home. So they're kind of writing them games off if they're not playing them at home.
Villa's got 6 home games left.
Yeah, our kid said to me, he said, if there's no fans in the stadium, then where's your atmosphere? Why does it matter? But for me, you've had Brady come out for West Ham saying void the season. We've heard the rumours from Watford, and now we've got Brighton kicking off a storm. It seems to me
the lower teams, all the lower teams,
the lower teams, Zaid, are the ones fighting our corner in this in this season being voided, so Liverpool don't get the league. I mean, we just heard then that he's talking into. I don't know. I've not looked at the details yet, everyone, so I don't know for certain. But lockdown till summer in terms of, I'm guessing social distancing and things like that. In this country then, summertime, say that's officially starts in July.
Yeah.
We ain't finishing the league.
No chance. Games, that's what I'm saying. Void the season. Apparently, I've seen some clippets of there, you know what I mean? People saying that everything could be open by July, you know what I mean? They're looking to open outdoor events by July. So for me, it's just not, we've not done it right. Boris has not done it right. The government has not done it right. So then now Premier League has to suffer. And the suffering is we don't have Premier League football. For me, it's the right way because at the end of the day, it's not fit for purpose and it's not going to work well. So what you do is we have a pre-season. We have, you know what I mean? We get some transfers. We can open a transfer window in the UK and we can say, you know what, let's start this now. And let's start a new transfer window now. Because at the end of the day, it's just not happening. And there's no, for me, what I've always said is about mitigating circumstances and the fact that there's not any kind of, you know what I mean? There's not any kind of breakthroughs anywhere. There's nothing like you cannot say one thing could happen. So then, yeah, we'll do that plan. You know, nothing's going well. Nothing's going hand in hand. And it's a case of one thing comes off like now today, another 3 weeks of lockdown. Then it's like, you know, how are you supposed to sort something out? How are you supposed to start out dates? How are you supposed to start out like, you know, venues testing every day, 2 times testing a week? They're saying, and then where are you gonna put the venues? Like, how are you gonna sort out the staffing? It's all these factors are just not working. And it won't work. That's a main thing.
No, I mean, Germany are trying the best. But to be honest, I still think there's some form of information that they've not let out. For the numbers that they've got compared to the rest of Europe, I don't think they've been completely honest with all the numbers that have come out of what's happening there. I mean, I can understand it, but I mean, I've seen the pictures of teams training. I'm like, how can you play? What is your player's mindset playing in games like that when you know a touch or anything? It just doesn't work for me. Like you said, then staffing, coaching, who's actually security to make sure no one does get into the stadium because there'll be some idiots who try and get in, guarantee it, especially in this country. I mean, this weekend alone, I know it was VE Day and it was a great celebration, but I walked past loads of streets and social distancing was out of the window completely out of the window, and it's just going to make football suffer, Zane. I mean, even if we did get football back, would you be happy with a full season behind closed doors?
Yeah.
1 second.
You see, so speak or is it?
No, go for it. My lighting went off.
All right.
If you get football back, what was it? What was the question again? If we can get football back?
Yeah, I mean,
football without fans.
It was mentioned last week that we could get a full season back, but next season they're looking to possibly play it all behind closed doors. So we're not going to be able to go to a single game, mate. So, I mean, would you be happy with that just to get football back, or would you rather push to make sure we get football back and wait it out even longer, get football back as it should be? I mean, would you just take anything right now?
like I said, even if behind closed doors, players can still catch it. You can't just play. You can't play the season because you can see. If they're saying about June the 8th, football coming back. If you're going for June the 8th, 1 week before, you can say Aston Villa, someone from Aston Villa contracts the coronavirus. The whole team's gonna have to go in self-isolation for 14 days, and then another team's gonna get it. All I'm saying is, just void this season. Start from scratch next season. You can't give the league. There's no winners, no people that's coming up this season. You can't give Liverpool a title because mathematically they can still bottle it. They need 2 games to win, and you just can't give. You can't just give Premier Leagues like that. You can't give it like that. I'll base it on last season's so United. They're saying about points per game for the UFA if the season gets voided or something.
Yeah, it's what's the name, mate, isn't it? The permutations that they're coming up with. Saeed mentioned it. Then it's all mouth, it's all talk, and it's all crap. It's never going to work because not every single person is going to agree to it. It's like the government's announcements tonight. I've not even watched it, and I'm guessing. I think Zane's just passed out. I saw Dave's back again. I think I haven't watched what the government has said tonight, but I'm guessing there's been absolutely zero clarity on anything. It's just going to have been left out in the open again, and no one knows exactly where they stand. I'm guessing that is exactly where the announcements have been laid out. But I mean, we're not watching it. I've just got that horrible feeling in the back of my mind. Still locked down, trampoline booming. I'm just looking for things here. Sorry. People leaving comments. Saeed's gone from squeaky door room to another one.
Change the location, mate. Change the location.
Yeah, I can see you getting wound up there with it, mate.
Oh, it's awful. This lockdown is absolutely shocking, mate. Shocking.
Let's see. No football allowed, Boris said. Boris said no sports. God, I need to look at all this once we finish the show. League is gone. Only Scousers plus businessmen. Who pay?
You hear me?
Yeah, I think Adam's gone.
Adam, where you at, man?
I'm back. We're crashing all over. This Boris news is gone. But Boris is destroying me.
Boris has absolutely killed it all. He's killed it off for everyone.
Yeah, I think he's literally said there's no sport, boys. It's like Alien said there. It says, void the season simpler. It's not worth it for players. He's mentioned Martial gets it there. It could be any player. And like Zane said, any player can still get this. And if one of the players gets it now, everything that they've tried to do, go into this so-called isolation training that they're doing, social distancing in training, what is the point?
It's all about this.
If it's giving this virus more risk. Money. Like Alien says there, the only people who want this to finish is businessmen and Scousers. That's a great comment.
I'm telling you.
Great comment. I'll just
imagine the scenes at Anfield when the season gets voided.
Oh, God, mate.
Crazy.
You know what? There's no way, I'm saying this now, there's no way they'd be able to control the Scousers if they give them the league and they went out celebrating. It's not a chance.
No chance.
Not a chance. Some of the comments are going wild now. As long as they're finally relaxed. Yeah, it's like everyone's saying exactly the same thing. It's coming across now. It's like safety first. There's absolutely no. There's no way I can see this. I think tonight, probably the most condemning broadcast that Boris has made in terms of the football getting finished. I think that pretty much nailed the coffin down for the Scousers. If we find can we play football even behind closed doors? It's like, no, you can't play. It's like Crest says there, we can't play it behind closed doors.
No.
It's just.
I just don't want it. I just restart it from scratch, mate, because football without fans is absolutely shocking.
Yeah. PSG got the title when it was. You know what? If they voided the season and give Liverpool a league, I'm not bothered because it's not real. It isn't real. Owen said this last week, I think. He said, we'd just laugh at him and make up a new song and sing it in the stands when they come back, that you've not got the real title.
I think most Liverpool fans want to win it in a proper way, though. Like, it's just don't want to be giving it like that. They want to win it properly. Because they're going to have rival fans all over them, cussing them about how they didn't win the Premier League properly. I think mostly they want to win it properly.
Full-timer Reds, you really had to ask that.
That's not even a question. Come on. You know.
Right, going on to safety first. I'm just going to bring this into... I'm going to try and finish the stream off with a little bit of an upbeat tone to it. But for me, we're talking about safety there, and obviously a few players have been absolute clowns in all of this. But one of my and I hate this guy and just the way he is on the pitch. I do not like this guy. Kyle Walker. I think he broke
crazy.
it three times in a day, a party, and then he comes out and tries to make an excuse for doing what he's done. So I'm going to hit you with this, boys. Forget about all the legitimate stuff now. Players in the past, opposition players that you absolutely despised just because of their antics on the pitch, maybe the way they talked off the pitch. There is a few. Zaid, I'm going to come to you first, mate. In your time watching United, give me three players who you used to just despise. And these could be brilliant players because they wound you up the way they played. They were crafty, they were nasty. There's some players out there who I'll tell you what, I'll do mine three first so you guys can think about yours. But on my list, obviously, Kyle Walker. I just don't like the guy. Every time there's a ruckus on the pitch, he stands there, 10 men, like he's the hardest player in the world. I've seen what he did with a ball boy at Old Trafford last season, taking the mick out of him when he was throwing the ball back. And now this is the icing on the cake for me to come in big time on Kyle Walker, an absolute tool of a man for what he's done. And no excuse for me, an absolute idiot. He's in my top three anyway. Another one in mine, Mario Balotelli's just come up there for someone. He's close, isn't he, that guy for everyone. But another one for me was David Luiz. Oh, God, man. This guy, he's a horrible player and a brilliant player. But I can still remember him. Was it Raphael got sent off in the corner at Old Trafford? And the camera panned down to him on the floor.
David Luiz.
He suckered him in, didn't it? And he was smiling on the floor, knowing exactly what he did.
Like the Simpsons character, what's his name? Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob. Oh my God! He was on my hit list after that. I was spewing, mate. When I seen them pictures, I wanted to just jump on. I was raging.
Shocking.
I was absolutely raging. My last player, it could be. I've got so many players, but you know what? In there, and I only put him in there recently because I heard him talking on Talk Sport, and that was Martin Keown. Trying to make an excuse up for what he did to Van Nistelrooy when we drew 0-0 that time, saying he didn't do what he did deliberately. I mean, Arsenal would have been down to about 6 men if that was in this day and age with VAR on that day. But I actually can listen to Martin Keown. He talks a lot of sense on the radio, but what he said about that, I was like, what are you on, you absolute clown?
Someone said Chuy Suarez.
Chance. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start putting everyone else's up now, but...
Chuy Suarez. Mine's going to be...
Hit me with yours, mate. Hit me your three haters.
Mine's going to be Patrick Vieira, first of all. I used to despise the guy. He was so competitive. He was so... You know what I mean? I used to just hate him. Absolutely. Just couldn't stand him, man. You know what I mean? Probably the first one will be Patrick Vieira. Second one will be... I think it will be Luis Suarez. It's got to be absolutely massive, Luis Suarez. The way, you know what I mean, the incident with Evra, the way everything, you know what I mean, they had shirts on him. Oh, man, just can't stand the guy. Third one will have to be, you know what? I want to say Di Maria, you know. Di Maria, when he came back, you know what I mean, and he was like, you know, putting them things on and saying, oh, you know what I mean, he had the bottle when he was like that, putting that on. Oh, it's got to be Di Maria. Absolutely massive. Di Maria's for me. Absolutely. Snake, basically. We call him the snake still. You know what I mean? Yeah. John Terry's another one in there.
What his missus came out with as well. Di Maria's missus.
Someone said I despise Saeed for cussing out Rashford. That was one game, guys. Doesn't mean I still don't like the guy. You know what I mean? You know how bad it was that game, didn't you, Adam?
Yeah,
it was awful that game.
People come to me. They ask me for a lot of opinions on players all the time. They say, "Why have you got an agenda against Pogba?" I went, "I haven't." "Why are you slagging off Martial?" I said, "I'm not." If he had a bad game, he had a bad game. People, I'm allowed to say it was a bad game. Doesn't mean I hate the player. I love Pogba. I think Martial and Rashford are the future of the Premier League. It's as simple as that. But when they have a bad game, I ain't afraid to criticise him. It's just one of them days. We talk about instant reaction outside of games all the time. And when a player's played bad, you're asked about it. You just say, yeah, he wasn't great today. He was shocking. He was poor. It just didn't look like he was interested. But just the way it is. We say it as it is. And it's that's the end of. You said League One standard. Yeah.
I didn't say League One standard. Why did I say that? I don't know what he's on about full-time Red TV, but I did never say it was League One standard. I said it was, you know what I mean? I said it was average that game. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be deserved to have 200 bags a week. You know what I mean? And it was just in raw emotion. I don't believe that right now, but then again, you know what I mean? People put things into context.
Yeah, anyway. Zane, hit me with yours, mate. Who are your 3 haters?
Suarez. I just hated that guy. I used to act to Evra. Second, John Terry. And third, Di Maria. You heard what his wife said about United?
Yeah.
And she just cost Manchester.
I know. Scumbag. It wasn't that, mate. It was the fact that she said all the people are dead skinny and thin. I mean, she looked at her husband. He ain't no bodybuilder, is he? He's the thinnest player in the world.
And he's still got them alpha years.
Oh, God. I mean, there's a few people coming up here with someone. Ince, Terry, Zlatan. Zlatan? Oh, Zlatan. No, mate. I won't have Zlatan. The first two crest, mate, but I won't have Zlatan. I think Zlatan
The only thing about Terry was the fact that he proved everything that what he basically said. So when he was arrogant and when he was like, you know, it was basically a cunt, basically. You know what I mean? He kind of backed it with trophies. So that's why I've always respected Terry for some reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. So, Icardi wife is a part as well. Yeah. Right. That's it. So, players done. And last bit of news. This is going to be interesting to see how you guys think about this one, actually. I'm going to finish up the show with these. Obviously, Van Gaal's been outspoken this week. He's talked a lot about, and I agree with him in a lot of what he said, especially about the Ed Woodward doing all the dealings behind his back. For Louis Van Gaal to be 100% confident about finishing his last year contract, winning a trophy, and for Ed Woodward to keep that from him and show no signs of thinking of getting rid of Louis Van Gaal, just shows you how much of a slimeball and snake Ed Woodward can be with all his stuff. We have seen it. So Ed Woodward has been through quite a few managers in his short 7 years at Manchester United. This weekend, boys, marks 7 years since Manchester United appointed David Moyes as manager. Can you believe that? Can you remember the day? I remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember
watching on BBC News.
I was throwing up in my mouth from Fergie.
Yeah, throwing up in my mouth still at that sign. So, the managers that United have had since Fergie has left, I want you to rank them from, let me see. I'm not going to class Giggs because Giggs had 3-4 games. So, we're going to go David Moyes, we're going to go Van Gaal, we're going to go Jose Mourinho, and we're going to go Ole Solskjaer. It is a bit of an ask, I know. But I want you to name some qualities and what you hated most about him and rank them 1 to 4 from what they've done as United manager. You haven't got a lot to work with, I know, but everyone else in the comments, hit me up with yours as well. 1 to 4 out of our last 4 managers, qualities and what you hated the most about them. Would you rather see one of the others in there now instead of Ole? It's a question.
Wow.
So, go on, Zaid, hit me with it.
I'm going to go with, so we're going to go with 1 as the shocking, or we're going to go 4 as the shocking.
Just go number 1 as the one that you think has been the best.
Okay, the one for me that did the best, and do you know what's going to surprise a few people? But I'm going to say Louis Van Gaal. So I'm going to go with Van Gaal, number 1. I'm going to go with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, number 2, and then I'll explain why. and then I'm going to go with 3 Mourinho, and I'm going to go with 4 David Moyes. So the reason I'm going with Van Gaal as first is because of the fact that he brought in a lot of youth. He brought in Rashford. He brought in he brought in a lot of youth that we thought was going to be the next generation. He also brought us, like, in terms of, you know, the next generation of talent. You know, I mean, Falcao, Di Maria. As much as we said it was going to be the All NBA, I think it kind of like it got me feeling the best moments. And when Van Gaal was here, I felt like we were going to kick on, and that's why I'm putting him on as first. And I felt like he should have got another opportunity after he won the FA Cup. And I feel like it was a bit harsh on him for him to get sacked. I think he deserved another season. And I think if he got another season, you might have seen a different Van Gaal. You never know, with the team that he assembled, you might have seen a different Van Gaal. I'm going to go with number 2 with Ole because of the fact that he's brought the feel-good factor and the fact that he's also brought players in the right positions that you might think Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, you know what I mean? He's not won trophies yet, so I wouldn't put him any lower than that. So I would put him in that kind of sense of, yeah, it's number 2, I give him that. 3rd one, I go with Mourinho, and he might have won trophies, and he might have won the Europa League or whatnot, but the fact that the matter is, he made the football club toxic. He didn't care about the football club. He almost like didn't want to succeed anymore at United. He made too many excuses. So for me, he's got 3rd. And David Moyes, obviously, he sits on his own because that was absolutely awful. Getting smacked up by 3-0 by Liverpool and then 2-0 by Man City the same week. I'll never ever forget that week. We got absolutely destroyed. So I'm going to put him there, David Moyes. Sorry, David Moyes. Even though I did meet him one time at a train station in Preston, and he was a very, very humble guy. So for me, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Zane, your top 4, mate.
Number 1, I'm going with Ollie, just because the signings he's brought in this summer. He's brought the fans together. He's and just unity around the fan base now. We just feel like united again. Like everyone's together. 2nd, I'm going with this might surprise a few people, but I'm going with Mourinho because he's won us the Europa League and he won us the 3 trophies, the Community Shield and the the Europa League and FA. Was it the Carabao Cup? Yeah. 3rd, I'm going with Van Gaal, just because he's boring. Yeah. Football was just boring. That people were going into his United matches then just falling asleep. We're just going to have a nap there.
That was
4, I'm going
couldn't manage a microwave meal. Wow.
And 4th, I'm going with Moyes. That was just terrible, man. I thought it was the next Fergie coming out. Fergie was saying, "Stand by your new manager." I thought, this is the new Fergie. Didn't know that he'll get. Didn't know he'll end up like that.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we're all going to be different. Actually, that's good. It just shows you what people prioritize more. It's like Zane said there. Mourinho got trophies, and you know what? He's never going to take away them final days from us. But Van Gaal gave us one final, didn't he, as well? Trophy before he lost. So I'm going to go simply. I mean, I've been sat in the stands watching every single one of these managers, like you, Zaid. And Alfie's first season, my son's first season watching United was under David Moyes. Alfie's 13 this year now. So 13-year-olds started watching, because Alfie's had a season ticket for
6,
going on.
So he started at 6, didn't he?
Yeah, he's going on a few years now. He's already a silver season ticket holder, Alfie. 5-6 years he's been watching Man United. 7 years now after this season. And all he knows is United are average and crap, basically. Average to crap. That's all he knows United has. He's seen nothing else. He literally, the curtain was drawn on Ferguson and Alfie came in. And now all he knows is from Moyes onwards. Oh, God, it's hard for me to... He can't understand where I'm coming from when I'm saying United used to be good, because he can't see it.
Used to be.
See it. So I'm going to go my first, number 1, just from my experiences. I'm not going to bring trophies into it as much, because the trophies for me are Champions League and Champions League. Sorry, Champions League and the Premier League. And it's, for me, I'm going to go Ole first, simply because he's got a knack of beating the big teams. And you know what? We've had some good times under Ole in the stands. So I'm going to go with Ole. Second, I'm probably going to go, even though his football was boring, like Zane said, I'm going to go Van Gaal. You could see the plan. he just didn't seem to be able to implement it in the right way. You could see what he was trying to do. I don't think he had the best players to do it. And the players he brought in seemed to be hoping it was a sort of fast track into what he wanted to do. Falcao Di Maria didn't work. Number 3, with Zaid on this one, definitely. Jose Mourinho, because we were stood outside Old Trafford many a times and it was horrible. The fans, I'd never known bitterness like it. I mean, early on in this season, we've had some stick outside Old Trafford under Ollie, and we've had some right meltdown moments, but the feel-good factor's still there with Ollie. And you know what? You feel like he wanted to do the job, whereas Mourinho didn't want it. He was looking for a way out in the end for me, and that's why I didn't. I thought Mourinho was the right man at the time. I was excited. I really was. But he proved me wrong in a big way. And I'll own up to that because I backed Jose for a long time, but it got to a stage where we couldn't do it. And then obviously the man himself, Mr. David Moyes, the quotes, "We aspire to play like Manchester City, having won the league the season before." I mean, it's unforgivable. I was sat watching the Everton away game. It was the one that pretty much crucified him with a load of City fans.
And the mask guy, the guy with the mask. I remember, and they said, I said to him, at the end of this game, wait for this interview here. He'll come out and he'll say that we played all right. I think we got beat 3 or 4-0. And he said we played all right. He'll come out and say it, and they're like, no, he won't say that. It's not that. But he came out, first words out of his mouth, we played all right. We just got beat by Everton 4-0 without even getting an attack on goal. And it's that for me. That were the pits. Them back-to-back defeats at home to Liverpool and City. I remember them well. Every single team broke their duck against United under David Moyes, beating us for the first time at Old Trafford. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. But that are my top 4. Sort of, we're going through a bad time, aren't we, boys? That's all we can say in terms of managers. But, I don't know. We've got to... We just got to find the shine,
we got to look positive at it, boys, haven't we? But with what's going on in the world now, we seem to have been scuppered in any plans going forward. But there are more important things than football. End of the day, that is exactly it.
Nothing. Yeah. Exactly.
Listen, guys, I'm going to finish it up there. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to go and have my word with Ricky now. I'll go and sort him out.
Make sure you do, mate. I'll be back, mate. I'll be back soon, mate, on the United stand.
You will. I'm going to go and finish up my spell with Ricky and United's transfers on the United stand. So you can catch me there in a minute. Saeed, your socials on YouTube, mate. Hit the up, please.
Yeah, sorry about tonight with all this noise, mate. I'm telling you, man, I'm never going to record inside, mate, ever again. But yeah, man, at United Central on YouTube, and check me out on Twitter at realist_when7.
Zaid, what's your socials, mate? Hit people up with that. We've had a few fans on here tonight, actually. You already know you, so...
Socials Instagram Z1.chow and Twitter Ighalo.
Nice one. People,
we'll have a replay. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely. You get them to you two hit your FIFA's up and get back on there. I can't even comment on FIFA. I'm shocking.
Don't worry, man. Tonight I'll be ready. I'm ready tonight. I'm ready.
Everyone, this is the channel for the real football talk. Thanks for tuning in. All the super chats, all the chats, guys. And if you want to see more of me with Ricky, having it out with him and Mark on United Stand, I'll be over there at 8 o'clock. Check it out there as well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and share the video when it goes out later. We had some technical issues. We had some squeaky doors, but it's live. That's what we love about it. We can just have a laugh as we go. Anyway, stay positive, people. Stay safe. I'll see you in the week. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Take care.